This MTR episode is titled Romantic Couples. It's from Dick's live stage show called Hooray for Hollywood. It's only a slice of a much larger talk on the topic. Do enjoy.
Now, romantic couples. Many great romantic couples on and off the screen, which was part of the golden age that, they brought that romance and glitter to that era. Some of the most recognizable couples off the screen were Orson Welles and Rita Hayworth, the beauty and the brain, as they were known. Laurence Olivier and Vivien Leigh. Another popular one was Clark Gable and Carole Lombard. Perhaps one of the most recognizable couples of Hollywood was Spencer Tracy and Katharine Hepburn. Their romance lasted for over 20 years. When they met at a dinner party in Hollywood one evening, they were introduced by Joseph Mankiewicz, a noted writer, producer, director. When he introduced Katharine to Spencer Tracy, Katharine said, Mr. Tracy, I'm afraid I'm too tall for you. And Mankiewicz retorted, not to worry, Katharine, he'll soon knock you down to size. They were together, as I said, over 20 years. They never married, never lived together. They kept their relationship very private, never granting any interviews to press or media. They made 9 motion pictures together. The first was Woman of the Year in 1942. They went on to make films like Death Set, Pat and Mike. And their last film together was Guess Who's Coming to Dinner in 1967. Well, there's an interesting story about that. Excuse me. During production of that film, Spencer Tracy was very ill. In fact, he passed away 2 months after that film was completed. Katharine was so devastated she never saw the film. And she dedicated her Oscar for her lead role in that film to the love of her life, Spencer Tracy. Now, another popular romantic couple off the screen was Bogey and Bacall. They met in 1944 on a set called a movie called To Have and Have Not. It was based on a book by Ernest Hemingway. She was 19 and he was 45. And he was instantly attracted to her because of her slender frame, her long flowing blonde hair, her hazel eyes, and her outspoken honesty. And when he saw her screen test, he said, I think we're going to have a lot of fun. And he nicknamed her Baby. Well, the director of that film, Howard Hawks, he too was fallen from Lauren Bacall. And he told Lauren, he said, Bogey's not for you. He's not your type. He's too old for you. And he's not in love with you. He's in love with the character that you're playing. And if you don't break up with him, I'm going to send you down to Monogram, which was a second-rate studio. Well, she told Bogey about that. That really pissed him off. So he confronted Howard Hawks, and they got into little fisticuffs, and it took Jack Warner, the head of Warner Brothers Studios, to separate them. Well, they were able to complete production on the film, and 2 months after wrapping up, they were married. They had 1 child and were married until Bogey's death in January of 1957. They went on to make 3 other films, Big Sleep, Dark Passage, and their most famous film, Key Largo. Casablanca was Ingrid Bergman. What was I saying? What you probably didn't know about Bogey and Bacall is they were the founding members of the Rat Pack. This is an interesting story. You know who the Rat Pack is: Sinatra, Martin, Lawford, Sammy Davis Jr. They made a great film in 1959 called Ocean's 11. Well, Bogey and Bacall and Lauren, they were hosting a party in Las Vegas in 1955. And all the Rat Pack boys were there, and other celebrities, including David Niven and Judy Garland. And when Lauren Bacall saw the aftermath of the wreckage of that party, she said, and I quote, and excuse my language, "This looks like a goddamn Rat Pack." And that's how that name Rat Pack came about, 1955.